Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at the 10 GameCube games that deserve a remake. For as much as we love the GameCube, there are many classic titles that have been left stranded on the purple lunchbox. Whether these games make their way back via the Switch, Switch Online, or whatever the next Nintendo console could be, they are definitely overdue for a comeback.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
The Legend of Zelda: Four Swords Adventures. Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, we could go with remakes or remasters of these as well. However, Four Swords Adventures would be a strong contender for a Switch release. The appeal of this Zelda spin-off was that you and 3 friends were venturing through Hyrule together on the same screen. It was classic 2D Zelda gameplay with a multiplayer spin, something Triforce Heroes attempted to replicate in 2015, but flopped kinda hard. And besides, if you weren't one for working with your friends, the Shadow Battle mode was loads of competitive fun. Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. After skipping an entire generation of gaming on the Nintendo 64, many had wondered what was in store for Samus Aran. What we experienced was an evolution in the franchise. Metroid Prime and its sequel, Echoes, managed to replicate what made Metroid so incredible and put it in a 3D space, making the Prime games some of the best FPS titles ever. The atmosphere captured that eerie tone, that unnerving feeling of dangerous creatures lurking behind corners, waiting to pounce on you. On top of that, the combat showed that Metroid could very well compete with the likes of other FPS games that had already been established. Let's just pray those rumors of Switch remasters are true. Please, almighty Metroid gods. Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem. Eternal Darkness is one of those cult classics that you might have heard over and over again from not just our lists, but also from other websites. What is there to say that hasn't already been said about the sanity mechanic, and how it breaks the fourth wall in bizarre ways, like lowering your TV volume and blah 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 blah. You know what? No. We're not just putting it on here for a token cult classic, okay? To put our money where our mouth is, we're advocating a remake for Eternal Darkness. With TVs now being connected to the internet, featuring apps of various streaming services and the like, and having more settings than ever before, Eternal Darkness has more ways to play with your own television set and can terrorize us in our own first world ways. Maybe your sanity causes your TV to spam error codes, or connect to shady networks, or install the Watch Mojo app and open up 30 top 10s at once so we can hear Ricky in 3D audio. See? There are all kinds of things you could do here. Come on, bring back Eternal Darkness. Geist.
Keep your head down unless you fancy being shorter.
If you've never heard of Geist, and Lord knows I didn't before making this list, then allow us to give you the pitch. It's Call of Duty, but with ghosts and possession, and it's kinda cool. John Raimi, no relation to Sam, is a counterterrorism soldier who stumbles upon a machine and accidentally causes a bunch of ghosts and demons to emerge from it. Not only that, but moments before his death, a spirit frees him and grants him the power to possess objects and living things. While the combat isn't as tight as most shooters today, it really isn't, it has aged poorly, that's enough reason for Geist to get a remake. Take what we've learned today, work it into the gameplay here, and maybe expand more on the possession mechanic. Really, there's a lot of promise here, and even if it hasn't aged well, it's still worth checking out. Star Fox Adventures. Much like the Metroid Prime game, Star Fox Adventures is one of those GameCube titles that surprisingly holds up well visually. The texture work is incredible, the environments are breathtaking, and the sound design is... okay, well, some of the sound effects are a little bit generic, I'm not gonna lie there. But imagine what this game could look like, with improved lighting and shadows, and maybe some of its own sound effects instead of stock. Imagine this game having combat with proper dodging and giving Fox more moves with the staff instead of the same basic couple of combos that you see over and over again. Adventures has potential to evolve with today's knowledge, and if we aren't getting a new Star Fox game anytime soon, could we at least, Nintendo, could we at least get a port of this with some improvements?
It's always the same with you, Fox. Shoot first, ask questions later.
Mario Party 4 through 7. For those of us who grew up on Mario Party during the Nintendo 64 era, the new Superstars game was a dream come true. It so totally was. I loved Superstar. Boards from the first 3 games remade under a modern engine, minigames from decades ago returning once more with improved controls and mechanics. There was just one issue. There were plenty of minigames from the GameCube era, but no boards. With Superstars relying so much on nostalgia, it would make sense to remake some of the best boards from Mario Parties 4, 5, 6, and 7, and release them as an expansion for this new collection. After all, this era of Mario Party had some awesome boards, like Toyland, Neon Heights, Goomba's Greedy Gala, and Egad's Garage. It would only make sense to add these games in, so we can relive the days of Capsules and Koopa Kids.
Finish!
Pikmin! Look, we know we just got a re-release of Pikmin 3 on the Switch in 2020, but that's actually why we want a remake of the first Pikmin. Really, are you seeing this? Look at how gorgeous Pikmin 3 looks. This was a 2013 Wii U game, and while there may not be much of a graphical difference between this and the deluxe version, it still looks incredible. So just picture a remake of the very first Pikmin game with this level of fidelity. The original Pikmin, it still plays great, it's still fantastic, has amazing music, but yet in a visual sense, it hasn't aged all that well. I mean, come on, why does my boy Olimar look like Play-Doh? He deserves better. And if we don't get the original Pikmin remade, how about a port of Pikmin 2, please? Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat was one of those games that annoyed parents on account of those plastic bongos. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience here. My parents hated it. Luckily, motion controls are now a thing, and they could absolutely work well with a modern release for Jungle Beat. This was an incredible 2D platformer, where you controlled Donkey Kong and interacted with the environment by smacking bongos and clapping your hands. You know, all obnoxious sounds. It was so simple, yet so thrilling, even if it got a little raucous at times. Plus, those boss battles were a riot to play. And don't believe for a second that Nintendo can't bring this to Switch. They managed to migrate this thing to the Wii. And guess what? Wii and Switch have motion controls, so there's no excuse. Chibi Robo. Poor Chibi Robo has gotten the short pipe for far too long. I am speaking as a hardcore fan right now. From Ziplash to Park Patrol to that god-awful photo finder, it seems Nintendo has no idea what to do with Chibi Robo. Might we make a suggestion? Just remake the first game. For the few of us that played it, Chibi Robo was absolutely phenomenal. tidy the house and help the family during the day, fight creepy crawlies and watch toys come alive at night. It was a charming little adventure game that was unfortunately not marketed at all to us Westerners, and by the time it was, we were already infatuated with the Wii. With Nintendo and gaming as a whole being bigger than it's ever been, a remake of the original Chibi Robo would be an excellent way to reintroduce the adorable bot to the world. Super Mario Sunshine. Look, we can look back on Super Mario Sunshine all we want and share the fond memories we had and everything, alright? There's nothing wrong with being happy with the game, you know, sing your Bianco Hills music, get lost in Rico Harbor, all that. But Sunshine, we gotta be honest with ourselves, the controls are really finicky still. Even in the 3D All-Stars remaster, Mario is extremely sensitive to control, and it makes missions like the Pachinko level and the Floodless segments way, way harder. A remake could certainly fix all of that and more. We could go for some smoother polygons and maybe some upscaled cutscenes. The cell shading could certainly use a bit of sharpening too. We're comfortable with what we have now, but Sunshine could be a good start to a GameCube renaissance, just as long as you get those damn controls tightened a bit.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.